Sum 41's legacy is one that is not just etched into the annals of rock history, but also into the hearts of millions of fans worldwide. Emerging from the suburbs of Ajax, Ontario, Sum 41 broke onto the scene in the late 90s and became one of the most iconic and beloved rock bands of the 2000s. Their music, a perfect blend of punk energy, metal riffs, and pop sensibility, captured the angst, joy, and spirit of a generation. For many of us, Sum 41 wasn't just another band, they were a voice that echoed our own experiences, fears, and dreams. This video will delve into what makes Sum 41 such an unforgettable band, exploring each of their albums as chapters in the story of a band that over 2 decades evolved, matured, and ultimately became legends in their own right. Released in 2001, All Killer No Filler wasn't just a debut album, it was a declaration. With this record, Sum 41 burst onto the music scene with an energy that was impossible to ignore. The album's lead single, Fat Lip, quickly became an anthem for a generation, with its rebellious lyrics, catchy hooks, and genre-blending style. Sum 41 wasn't just another pop-punk band, they were a group that knew how to blend the aggression of punk rock with the accessibility of pop, creating a sound that was both familiar and refreshingly unique. Every track on All Killer No Filler is a reminder of why this album became such an instant classic. In Too Deep, with its infectious melody and unforgettable music video, showcased the band's knack for crafting songs that could be both introspective and insanely catchy. Meanwhile, Motivation and Handle This demonstrated their ability to pen lyrics that resonated with the disaffected youth of the early 2000s. But what really set All Killer No Filler apart was its raw energy. This was an album that didn't pull any punches, with every song delivering the kind of high-octane rock that made Sum 41 an instant favourite among fans of punk and alternative rock. The production was polished enough to appeal to a mainstream audience, but it never lost the edge that made the band sound so infinitely compelling. Sum 41 had arrived, and with All Killer No Filler, they made it clear that they were here to stay. After the success of All Killer No Filler, Sum 41 could have easily played it safe and released a similar sounding follow-up. But instead they chose to revolve, with Does This Look Infected? Released in 2002, the band took a darker, heavier approach both musically and lyrically. This album was a bold move, showcasing Sum 41's desire to push their boundaries and explore new territory. Does This Look Infected is an album that dives headfirst into themes of alienation, anger, and disillusionment. Tracks like Still Waiting and The Hell Song are perfect examples of this shift in tone, with the heavier guitar riffs, aggressive vocals, and lyrics that reflect a more cynical worldview. Still Waiting in particular became an anthem of frustration, still capturing the uncertainty and fear of a post-9/11 world. The song's music video, with its dystopian imagery and frenetic pace, only added to its impact, making it one of the most memorable tracks of the early 2000s. But despite its darker themes, Does This Look Infected still retained the sense of fun and irreverence that had made All Killer No Filler such an instant hit. Tracks like Over My Head, Better Off Dead, and No Brains are prime examples of Sum 41's ability to mix serious subject matter with a playful attitude, creating songs that are both thought-provoking and incredibly fun to listen to. This album showed that Sum 41 was more than just a one-hit wonder, they were a band with depth, versatility, and a willingness to take risks. If Does This Look Infected was a step towards a heavier sound, Chuck was the culmination of that evolution. Released in 2004, Chuck is widely regarded by many fans, including myself, as Sum 41's Magnum Opus, an album that perfectly balances the band's punk roots with their growing affinity for metal. Named after a UN peacekeeper who saved the band's lives during a visit to the Democratic Republic of Congo, the album is infused with a sense of urgency and intensity that makes it stand out as one of the most powerful records of the 2000s. Chuck is an album that doesn't shy away from heavy topics, with songs like We're All to Blame and Pieces tackling issues of war, inner conflict, and existential angst with a maturity that was new for the band at the time. We're All to Blame, with its rapid shifts between blistering metal riffs and melodic choruses, is a perfect example of how Sum 41 had mastered the art of blending genres to create something truly unique. The song's lyrics, which reflect on the consequences of greed and the human cost of conflict, are some of the most poignant the band has ever written. But Chuck isn't just about heavy themes and intense music, it's also an album that showcases Sum 41's growth as musicians. The guitar work on this record is some of the most intricate and technically impressive of their career, with tracks like The Bitter End and 88 featuring solos and riffs that wouldn't be out of place on a metal album. The production is also top-notch, with a polished sound that never loses the raw energy that defines Sum 41's music. For many fans, Chuck represents the peak of Sum 41's career. It's an album that perfectly encapsulates everything that makes the band great: their ability to blend genres, their willingness to tackle serious issues, and their unmatched energy energy and musicianship. Chuck is more than just an album, it's a statement, a testament to Sum 41's place as one of the most important rock bands of their generation. Following the success of Chuck, Sum 41 faced a new challenge: how to follow up on an album that many considered to be their best work. Rather than trying to outdo themselves with another heavy, metal-infused record, the band decided to take a different approach. With Underclass Hero, released in 2007, Sum 41 returned to their punk roots, delivering an album that was both a throwback to their earlier sound and a reflection of their growth as artists. Another highlight of the album is With Me, a ballad that stands out as one of the most heartfelt and emotional songs in Sum 41's entire discography. The song's lyrics, which deal with love, loss and the passage of time, are delivered with a feeling of sincerity and vulnerability that is rare in rock music. With Me is a testament to Sum 41's ability to craft songs that are not only powerful but also deeply moving. Underclass Hero may not have been as groundbreaking as Chuck, but it was an important album for Sum 41 nevertheless. It showed that the band was not afraid to return to their roots, even as they continued to evolve as artists. The album's blend of punk, pop and alternative rock created a sound that was both familiar and new, and it reaffirmed Sum 41's place as one of the most versatile and beloved bands of the 2000s. By the time Screaming Bloody Murder was released in 2011, Sum 41 had been through more than their fair share of ups and downs, lineup changes, personal struggles, and the pressures of maintaining success in an ever-changing music industry had taken their toll on Sum 41. But rather than succumb to these challenges, Sum 41 had used them as fuel for their next album, creating a record that was raw, aggressive and undeniably powerful. But Screaming Bloody Murder isn't just about darkness and despair. The album also features moments of hope and redemption, particularly in tracks like Crash and Baby You Don't Wanna Know. These songs show that even in their darkest moments, Sum 41 still had the ability to craft catchy, uplifting melodies that could lift the spirits of their listeners. Crash in particular is a standout track with its haunting piano melody and lyrics that deal with the aftermath of a near-fatal car accident. Screaming Bloody Murder is an album that has marked a turning point for Sum 41. It was a record that proved the band could not only survive but thrive in the face of adversity. The album's raw intensity and emotional depth showed that Sum 41 was still capable of pushing their boundaries and creating music that resonated with fans on a deeper level. It was the sound of a band reborn, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. After the release of Screaming Bloody Murder, Sum 41 faced their biggest challenge yet. Derek Whibley's battle with alcoholism had reached a critical point, leading to a near-death experience that forced him to confront his demons and make significant changes in his life. The result of this struggle was 13 Voices, an album that was released in 2016. This album chronicles Whibley's journey through darkness and his eventual emergence on the other side. Another highlight of 13 Voices is Fake My Own Death, a song that perfectly captures the feeling of wanting to escape from one's own life and start over. The song's aggressive guitar riffs and pounding drums creates a sense of urgency, while the lyrics reflect the desperation and frustration of feeling trapped in a situation that seems impossible to escape. It is a song that resonates with anyone who has ever felt overwhelmed by life's challenges, and it is a powerful reminder that even in our darkest moments, there is always hope. 13 Voices is an album that marks a new chapter in Sum 41's career. It is a record that shows the band's ability to overcome adversity and emerge stronger on the other side. The album's raw emotion and powerful lyrics makes it one of Sum 41's most compelling works to date, and it is a testament to the band's resilience and determination to keep going no matter what obstacles they may face. By the time Order in Decline was released in 2019, the band and the world had changed dramatically since Sum 41 first burst onto the scene in the early noughts. Political turmoil, social unrest, and a general sense of uncertainty had become the new normal, and Sum 41 had channeled these feelings into their next album. Order in Decline is a record that reflects the state of the world in the late 2010s, with lyrics that tackle issues of political corruption, social injustice, and the erosion of trust in institutions. The album's lead single, Out for Blood, is a perfect example of Sum 41's ability to channel their anger and frustration into powerful music. It is a song that resonates deeply in a time when so many people feel disillusioned with the state of the world, and it's a reminder that Sum 41 is still as relevant as ever. The songs in this album show a more vulnerable side of Sum 41, with lyrics that deal with loss, regret, and the search for meaning in a new, chaotic world. Never There in particular is a standout track with its haunting melody and lyrics that explore the pain of losing a beloved person in your life. In 2021, Sum 41 released Heaven and Hell, an album that in my opinion stands shoulder to shoulder with Chuck as one of their best works ever. This record marked a significant evolution in the band's sound, blending their signature punk rock energy with new elements that pushed the boundaries of what fans had come to expect. Heaven and Hell is an ambitious album that explores themes of duality, struggle and redemption, all while delivering some of the most powerful and innovative music in Sum 41's entire music career. The album's title track, Heaven and Hell, both serve as an introduction and a thesis statement for the record. The song's lyrics delve into the contrasts and conflicts that define the human experience: light versus dark, good versus evil, hope versus despair. Musically, this track is a revelation, blending heavy guitar riffs with electronic elements and orchestral arrangements that create a soundscape both grand and intimate. It is a song that sets the tone for the rest of the album, inviting listeners to embark on a journey through the complexities of one's life. Heaven and Hell is an album that showcases Sum 41's growth as musicians and songwriters, with the band's willingness to experiment with new sounds and styles showing that while staying true to their roots is what makes this record so special. With Heaven and Hell, Sum 41 once again proved that they are a band that is not content to rest on their laurels. They are constantly evolving, pushing the boundaries of their music and exploring new territory. As Sum 41 steps off the stage for the final time, their legacy is clear. They are a band that has never been afraid to evolve, to take risks, and to challenge the status quo. From their early days as punk rock rebels to their later years as seasoned veterans of the music industry, Sum 41 has always stayed true to their roots, while also pushing the boundaries of what they could do as a band. Sum 41's music has always been about more than just catchy hooks and energetic performances. It's been about speaking to the human experience, about expressing the pain, the joy, the anger and the hope that we all feel at some point in our lives. Sum 41 have given us some of the most memorable and impactful songs of the last 2 decades, and they have inspired countless others to pick up a guitar, write a song, and express themselves through music. Their legacy will live on through the bands they have influenced, the fans they have touched, and the music they have created. Sum 41 may be stepping off the stage forever, but their music will continue to inspire and resonate with fans for years to come. They are a band that has always been about more than just music. They have been about the message, the passion, and the connection with their fans. That is the legacy of Sum 41, and it is one that will endure long after the final note and song has played.